Over the last week, the crypto market has put in some wildly weird moves, right? Some random pumps, some random dumps, sideways movement, little fake breakouts and fake outs. I mean, it's been an odd couple days here in the crypto market where a lot of people have lost. And as a result of this weird market, many crypto investors are looking at this crypto market like, what in the world is going on? Why is Bitcoin moving like that? Why is crypto moving like that? And they're trying to figure it out. Well, I do believe that I have the answer for exactly what crypto is doing right now and what its next move is going to be. And so, what I wanted to do today is to make a quick video for you explaining exactly what I think is happening, what I'm expecting next, and what I'm doing right now. So, we have a good bit to unpack today. So, let's get into it. And, guys, do not forget that if you want to start trading on up to 500x leverage today, you can use that link to BTCC down below, in which you are going to get up to $10,000 in free money to trade with and up to 40% lower fees. If you know how good that offer is, this offer is for you because that is a ridiculous offer and it's not going to last forever. So check out that link down below. Let me know what you think. So looking at Bitcoin, okay, this is where it all comes down to, because what's happening right now is a lot of people are looking at this move and they're thinking, what in the world is that, right? And we've kind of been on that train as well. I'm like, hey, what was that? What was this? This has all been weird. But the truth of the nature is we've known what this is, right? This is a high manipulation zone. This is an HMZ, just a small one, right? A high manipulation zone. And these are little consolidationary ranges, little periods in time in which you're going to go up and down and up and down, and you are going to destroy everyone on both sides. You're going to liquidate the longs. You're going to liquidate the shorts. You're going to just destroy everybody. And we've known that. We've talked about that over the last couple of days. But what a lot of people are missing is what's happening in the bigger picture, right? A lot of people are just looking at this move, not knowing, okay, well, is Bitcoin going to keep pumping because the stock market is falling? And how does Bitcoin go against the stock market? That's weird. None of this makes sense. A lot of people are looking at this too zoomed in. And what I believe most people need to do is zoom out a bit. Because the second that you zoom out, the picture becomes extremely clear as to what this crypto market is doing. There are three things happening right now, which are all playing a major role in determining whether or not Bitcoin is going to try to break out. And let me explain each one of them down for you in order, and least important to most important. Okay. So from a least important perspective, something is actually happening on the very short time frames right now. When you're looking at this chart, the 4-hour close-up Bitcoin chart from May 8th all the way to today, May 21st, what you can see is that something actually decently important is happening, and that is the fact that Bitcoin is currently trying to get a micro breakout, okay? So a micro breakout occurs whenever you obviously have this range, right? You break up through your golden zone, you successfully backtest it, and then you start trying to push up into your Fibonacci extensions. And that's exactly what Bitcoin is trying to do. As you can see here, Bitcoin finally broke above the golden zone, stayed above the golden zone, which it failed to do right here, and used that to push upwards. And now what's happening is that Bitcoin is currently stuck below $107,000 because this is a Fibonacci extension zone, the 1.272 level. The same exact level that rejected us back here is the same exact level that's rejecting us right here. And what Bitcoin is attempting to do is break above that. Now, it's not doing a great job at it, to be honest, and this doesn't look very good. This doesn't give me a ton of confidence that it's going to be able to break this zone. But obviously, this is play number one. And play number one is Bitcoin is simply trying to break this micro Fibonacci extension zone right here at $107,000. Now, I'm going to kind of zoom through these because they're all going to make a lot of sense in a second. Now, and I'm going to kind of pair them together so you can see the big picture. Okay. Now, the second thing that's happening, and less important, or, a little bit more important, is the fact that Bitcoin actually, on a more macro sense, is still trying to maintain above this ascending channel. So one thing that I didn't even realize was that, once we broke out of this ascending channel, which is a very unusual thing to happen, mind you, this does not happen almost ever. It's like a 10% chance that it happens. Once we broke out of it, I kind of forgot about it. But the truth is that was a mistake on my part. Because what's happening, and it's clear as day right now, is that Bitcoin broke out above it and is now trying to stay above it. And it's very hard to do that. Like, breaking out of an ascending channel is hard enough. Trying to stay above an ascending channel is even harder and even more, even less likely. And so what's happening is that as Bitcoin is trying to break out, it's trying to break out off the premise that it's built this support on top of an ascending level of support. Now, the third thing that's happening at this exact moment is the fact that Bitcoin, from a more zoomed out perspective, and what's most important, is also trying to hold hold support on top of its macro golden zone. As you know, this golden box is the most important level in all of crypto right now. This is the determining factor of whether or not Bitcoin's price can go to 121,000, can go to 138,000. And while we're above this golden zone, the door to 121 and the door to 138,000 are wide open because this is what this is. The golden zone is a door up to 121 and 138. And now we've walked through that door and we're trying to stay on the good side of that door, right? And so what's happening with this golden zone is Bitcoin's trying to stay above it. It's trying to use support from on top from the golden zone itself to push up towards that previous all-time high and then to try to push back above it. But when you pair all these things together, the picture becomes very clear. Okay, so now that you understand the 3 steps as to what's happening right now, which is quite simply we're trying to break a Fibonacci extension zone, a micro Fibonacci extension zone, while trying to hold support on top of the ascending channel in the golden zone, now let me paint the picture for you extremely clearly. Bitcoin is currently in a position where it has an extremely weak level of support under it and it's running into major resistance. And as a result of running into this major resistance, the market is making it very choppy. It's very ugly. And that's why we keep having these weird up and down moments and these pumps and dumps and pumps and dumps, because we're trying to use a very weak level of support, which is the ascending level of support, in order to run towards the upside without a good foundation below us. Sure, we have the golden zone, but the truth is we only really came back down to it on more of a micro perspective, not a macro perspective. Because if I zoom out into, the daily charts and you kind of see what this looks like, watch this. Do you see how we didn't really build a great foundation here? We barely even hit it. There wasn't even really a true interaction. It's because we didn't give a good back test. This was like a fast little ugly back test as a result of the fact that this ascending level of support pushed us away from it. And so this ascending level of support pushed us away from the golden zone so that we weren't able to establish a strong level of support. And now we're trying to use this little weak point of support to push into a huge level of resistance. Look at what happened the last time we were here. We got chopped all the way back down to 88,000 there. We got chopped all the way back down to 74,000 there. This is a massive level of resistance, and the bulls are trying to take on this level of resistance without a good foundation under them. And that's the exact reason as to why we are seeing this ugly, choppy market in which we're getting these weird moves that look just like this, right? The ones that look like, let me delete that. Those that look like this. Get you out the way. There we go. This, look, like that. Right? These little ugly moves, they happen because the bulls are trying to push. They're trying to force their way up. They're trying to go, but they can't. And the reason they can't is because they don't have a good enough support level under them. Now, does this mean that they cannot make this move ever? No, of course not. The bulls might pull it off. The bulls might just keep prying and keep prying and keep prying and keep prying until something breaks, and then we push back above $108,762, which is that next Fibonacci golden zone, or that Fibonacci extension zone, and it's the previous all-time high up here, right? So we could do it because the more times that you hit a resistance level, the more likely you are to break through it. But at the end of the day, it's going to be extremely difficult. And it's why the market is struggling so bad right now. It's the reason why as we're going up and as we're seeing the market continuously climb, look at your RSI. Look at how bad strength is falling off. The bulls are losing strength badly. Every single higher high we're putting in, we're getting lower highs here on the RSI. And guys, that's called bearish divergence for a reason. That generally implies that the move that you're making is not strong enough to continue and that you're probably going to break back down. And unless we see this crypto market break $108,762 sometime decently soon, I think the next move for the crypto market is some sort of rejection back towards the downside, which could imply a fall back towards $100,000, possibly even $99,000 to what would be into the golden zone for a real back test of support of the golden zone, and likely towards the bottom side or even below this previous ascending level of resistance and support, this ascending channel. Now, again, I'm not saying that I think the crypto market is about to crash. What I'm saying is if Bitcoin doesn't get above 108 soon, this becomes a much higher probability. And of course, it's not guaranteed. We might come back down and just back test the golden zone like this. Maybe we just come back down to 101,000 and go sideways and then use that support. All of these things are possible. So no, I'm not saying that I think we're going to crash. I'm just saying that this is becoming a much higher possibility and probability due to the fact that Bitcoin is trying to make a move up off a crappy level of resistance and support that I just don't particularly think is going to hold, okay? And so what I want you to do right now, what all of this means is that you need to be extremely careful. I'm talking extremely careful. As many of you know, I've been taking profits over the last couple of weeks, but I'm probably going to take even more profit on my portfolio today. Because although things are up and it feels good, the truth of the nature is we're in a spot where the crypto market's pumping, but it's pumping based off of very, very, very weak strength and very low volume. Look at volume here, guys. Look at the daily charts. I mean, look at what's been happening. Volume has been consistently dropping. It's not picking up whatsoever. That means that we're pumping with no volume, and it's generally not a great thing. And so all of these things combined make me feel like, hey, this crypto market better get going, and it better get going soon. Because the longer that we stay in this little HMZ, this high manipulation zone, the more likely it's becoming that we get some sort of capitulation back to 94K, back to 95K, somewhere around these lower levels in which we are going to see a ton of liquidations happen. If you go look at CoinGlass.com, you look at the 7-day charts, Bitcoin going back to 95K liquidates nearly 11 billion with a B billion dollars worth of long traders. And of course, some of them have stop losses, some of them will close their trades, but some of them won't. And that would be a huge liquidation event. And I know the lizard people are licking their lips at the thought of being able to grasp on a couple $billion worth of liquidations. So right now, in a moment like this, yeah, I'm probably going to take more profits off the table. I'm probably going to close down even more of my portfolio. And I'm probably just going to let this puppy ride. Because if we don't gain some strength sometime soon, if we don't pick up in volume sometime soon, if we don't see this crypto market break above that all-time high sometime soon, it is extremely likely that we are going to start to see this market chart pulling back in order to chase down these liquidations. So the best thing to do right now is be incredibly careful. And look, I know this isn't the most bullish video ever. I know this isn't me screaming, we're going to go to the moon, it's the banana zone and all these things. I get that. And I don't like talking like this, but I'm not going to force feed you things to validate your feelings. I don't care about your feelings. I care about you making money. And so in a moment like this where I see risk, I'm going to tell you that there's risk. And I hope you don't get too mad at me because it is what it is. And so over the next couple of days, the best thing to do is be extremely careful. You thought that I was telling you to be careful before. Now I'm saying no leverage trades. I think no leverage trades right now is the best move because previously I said small leverage. Now I'm saying no leverage, no big moves, nothing of that nature. Let this play out because us breaking this all-time high will be the very depending factor of whether or not this bad boy is going to continue to run or not. Okay. Now let's say Bitcoin does this, boom, and then we push back above 109. Okay. Now we're good. It showed us, although it was a crappy level of support, it used that support. We got a good push. We could be heading towards 121. But if that does not happen and we don't get that move sometime soon, again, I think this move towards 94, 95, 100, somewhere in this golden zone is what happens afterwards, okay? So I'll keep you updated on how it plays out, but I think this battle right now for the all-time high is much more obvious than even I realized, and you need to watch it closely. So I'll keep an eye on it, guys. If you do want to see exactly what I do when I do it in the moment, when I'm taking profits and things like that, what you can do is check out the link to the school down below. Guys, over at the school, we have a very simple mission. We give crypto investors like yourselves the tools that you need to create winning strategies because a winning strategy is what creates a winning investor. And I define someone that's a winning investor as someone that's confident and someone that's consistent. And so if you want to become confident and consistent in this market, to be able to go and say, you know what, I'm not doing anything right now, or I'm taking profits right now when everyone else is bullish, you need to check out the link to the school down below. It's available for you. And the best part is that if you don't find value, if you don't grow within the first few hours, I'll just give you your money back, which I think is a fair deal. So go check that out. Again, don't forget to go take advantage of these absolutely insane rewards over on BTCC and pay close attention to what happens in this market because things are getting shiesty and I need you to be careful. So I'll be here. Maybe no update tomorrow because I am traveling tomorrow, but I'll try to keep you as updated as possible. So stay tuned. I can't wait to see you all in the next one.